Hola amigos, welcome back to my channel. To my beloved daughters, Amigel and Marcela. You were never meant to fit into this world quietly. You were born to carry forward the strength of your father, to question, to build, to rise. When the world asks you to shrink, grow. When it asks for silence, speak. You are not just my children. You are the continuation of every lesson I ever lived. With all my love, Daddy.
How long can you stay up? Good job. You okay? Of course you are.
In case you're wondering why I'm showcasing my little ones, it's not for you. It's for them, so they can reflect on and remember our time together. So here we are. Welcome back. Let's get into it. Today I've got another persuasion skill that's so subtle, it can change your child's influence game forever. No arguing, no begging, just a clever use of contrast. This one's called contrast thinking, or as I like to say, don't just say what you want, show what happens if they say no. Okay, but before I start this next lesson, if you've been following this series, you've probably noticed there's a lot of overlap, and that's intentional. I want to reinforce the idea that we're not engineering for SpaceX. We're building our children's future, and with that in mind, I want to bring something to the forefront. A reality that's likely to affect all of us, parents, teachers, and especially our children. Persuasion is a powerful factor. What I'm sharing here is an approach you can use once you recognize that your child has begun using persuasion themselves. When you start noticing your child using persuasion with real intent, calm, thoughtful, strategic, that's a growth moment. And one of the best things you can say is something like, outstanding, I see what you're doing, and I respect how you did it. You used your words. You saw what mattered to me, and you spoke from that place. That's powerful. That's leadership. But here's something important too. Just because we can persuade someone doesn't mean we always should, especially with the people who love us. We use these skills with respect, not just to get what we want. The goal isn't to win, it's to understand each other better. So even if I say no, it's not a failure. It's still a win because you showed thoughtfulness, courage, and care. That's what matters most to me. Now back to this lesson, and let's slow this down a bit because this idea can sound fancy, but once your kid gets it, they'll be using it everywhere. This persuasion skill is called contrast thinking. It's when you help someone see the difference between two choices, not by telling them what to do, but by painting both pictures side by side so they choose the smart one themselves. Let me show you how it works. Let's say your child wants to sleep over at a friend's house on Saturday, but you haven't decided yet. They could say,
"Come on, everyone else is going, please."
That's what most kids do. And it usually gets a no, right? But a smart persuader, someone who uses contrast, might say,
"If I stay home Saturday, I'll probably just be on my iPad or watching nonsense. But if I go to the sleepover, I'll be playing board games, getting some fun social time, and I'll still be back in time for chores on Sunday. Which one sounds more productive to you?"
Boom! That's contrast. Now you're comparing a boring solo night versus a fun but responsible sleepover. She didn't argue. She just helped her parents see the better option by showing both sides. See, when we only push for what we want, people push back. But when we show both sides, the downside and the upside, they feel respected. They feel like they're making the choice. And here's the real secret. The moment you help someone visualize the difference, you make the smart choice feel like the obvious one. Let's say your daughter wants to watch a show before dinner. Instead of whining, she calmly says,
"Dad, I get it. You don't want me watching TV before dinner. But if I wait till after, I'll be tired and probably fall asleep during the show. If I watch 15 minutes now, I'll be relaxed and even help set the table. Would you rather have a grumpy helper or a happy one?"
Now look, I'm not saying she wins every time. And in this tone, I would probably laugh, because she'll never win with me. But that won't keep her from trying, right? But tell me that's not a smarter way to ask. That's contrast thinking. Here's how you teach it to your child. Step 1, ask them, what do you want? Step 2, what happens if you don't get it? And what happens if you do? Now we put it together. Now give your child these lines to critically think and role play without, I might, but with it. I'd be able to. You're not handing them a script. You're giving them a tool, a way to present both sides and let others feel smart about choosing the better path. Try it with little things. If we walk to the store, we'll be sweaty and tired. But if we ride the scooter, we get there happy. And if I don't bring my water bottle, I might feel sick. But if I bring it, I'll stay energized. It's not just about getting their way. It's about showing that they thought it through. And when you see them doing it, say this: great job. That was a smart contrast. You didn't argue. You just helped me see your side. What do you do when your kid uses this trick on you? You smile, you nod, and you say, I see what you're doing. That was clever. I'm proud of you for using your mind, not just your mouth. And then you can still say no. Just do it with respect. This isn't about giving in. It's about raising respectful, strategic thinkers who don't need to shout to be heard. Parents, the goal was never to raise a child who wins every argument. The goal is to raise a thinker, someone who sees both sides, respects others, and chooses influence over force. When you nurture that, you're not just teaching persuasion. You're shaping a future leader who knows that the right choice matters more than the easy one. Adios, amigos. Enjoy your journey. And I have a few more parenting tips coming soon.